Welcome back to the No Judge Necessary podcast, where we got the opinions like DC, we're crazy like Gaethje, and we're as high as O'Malley. With a podcast for fight fans that want to see fists fly and don't want to wait on the judges. I'm your host, Brick, and as always, my cornerman, Nil, and Matty P. How we doing, boys?
Living life.
Not bad.
Good to be back. Had a couple snoozer weeks of some cards.
Well, I've been getting 10-8'd at work just about every day, and some days it's like a 10-7 round. So we got hit with a 30-day medical suspension from the podcast. Here we are. We're back.
Also, I saved a baby bird in my backyard, but then I left for an hour and my dogs ripped it to shreds and left it on my carpet.
Bro,
that was an incredible story.
Was one of the greatest stories of all time. Like, and I don't mean that as an Instagram story. I mean it as in like one of the greatest stories ever told.
The ups and downs were.
It was incredible. Like you put in so much work on that nest. I was rooting for this thing.
Now we're in it. Now I just got to tell the story. So I woke up in the morning. Dogs going berserk out there, and I was supposed to be playing basketball, but I didn't because I thought I didn't know why. I was like, I'm not playing. So go check out the dogs, and they got like this thing cornered in the bush. I'm like, fuck, it's gonna be a snake. I'm gonna have to deal with this shit. It's a little baby bird. So I'm like, oh shit. Swoop that guy up. I'm like, all right, put him in a little box. I nailed the box to this post. I had a whole nest up for him. I gave him some water. I had him all decked out. He was almost there, getting ready to fly. And then I left, and I'm like, I put a fence around the thing, so that I should have just not let the dogs outside, but I don't want to clean up shit in the house. But instead, I had to clean up a dead bird in the house, and they fucked it up. Like, it was an ugly murder scene. I can't look at my dogs the same right now.
Now, question. You got a bunch of, like, wiener dogs. How the fuck did they get up to the perch?
No, the thing is, when I first built the perch, he kept flying, trying to jump off and fly off. Okay. But I had blocked the door since I was here. But when I left, I was like, all right. He hadn't tried to fly for like 3 hours. So I'm like, he's chilling. I'm going to put this gate around it. So if he jumps, hopefully he just doesn't get past the gate. And that motherfucker jumped past the gate and had a rough life. Like, I can hear his parents chirping up there and shit. It's wild.
Yikes.
That's tough.
That last slide of the story of update, bird is dead.
Dogs killed him.
All time? That's an all-time quote. Like, I lost it. I was crying.
I was getting so many DMs from that story.
I can only imagine.
Like, we need to sell the rights to Hollywood.
I'm going to get a bird tattooed. My first tattoo is going to be for Alfred.
A clip.
Oh, you named him too?
Clip bird.
I didn't know he had a name.
Damn.
That hurts more. All right. Well, R.I.P. Alfred.
This one's dedicated to Alfred, man. We got him.
No doubt.
All right.
But let's get into some MMA news. Nilly, you said you got some hot topics on the docket. What do we got?
Yeah, I do. I've got some real hot topics here. A lot of this is like business kind of related. So One Championship today announced that One Championship Prime Video announced multi-year streaming deal. One Championship has secured a new multi-year streaming deal in the United States and Canada. The company announced Wednesday it has come to an agreement with Amazon's Prime Video for 12 live announcements.
What? That's big.
I didn't think that way at first.
That's big. Amazon? That's so many people.
I guess it is. My first thought was this is dumb.
I somewhat liked their YouTube model, especially for the whole thing but an important line in what you just said, in US and Canada. So are they trying to structure a more traditional model in North America that we're more used to?
Well,
you know what I mean?
Like, that's not Amazon like Prime, like for the videos and movies and shit, right?
Oh yeah. Of course.
So if it's just on there, linked up or something, that would be nice. I could actually.
Yeah, no, that's something that a lot of.
But like, I'm not gonna watch this shit at 5 a.m. regardless. I feel like I'm more like chance to stumble across it on YouTube at 5 a.m. than I am Amazon Prime.
Yeah, can you still replay on Amazon?
That's a big question. If you can, because then it doesn't change anything to me. It honestly makes it easier for me because then I could watch it. I could wake up in the morning, go on my. I mean, I guess I could have done with YouTube, but that's a little weirder for me for some reason.
I like that with YouTube. That's usually my move. Is a lot of times I oversleep the prelims, wake up at like 5:30 or 6, watch the main card, and then I'll go back and rewatch the prelims. So the rewatchability is definitely a big factor in Amazon Prime, but it is something that a lot of major leagues in North America have done. I know NFL's doing a few games on Amazon. The MLB's about to do a few games on Amazon. So
but those are massive known properties. Everybody knows them.
Right.
One's trying to build their brand out here, but he's going exclusively to a plus presence when you were not a pay-per-view model or not a subscription model. Is that a good idea? People were used to getting your product for free, and now this smells like they're heading into the movement of people paying for it, and I'm not sure I agree with that. I think that's going to kill the business. I feel like half the reason is, well, we're number one on the Nielsen ratings every year because we can track exactly what we get on YouTube, and we're globally, and we get 9 billion on YouTube. Bam, that's our number. Right. I don't know. It just makes I'm very nervous and skeptical.
I think that is how many people already have Amazon.
Correct.
That are just going to be like, oh,
I guess
there's fights on here.
That's sort of my opinion.
I guess because I don't personally have an Amazon Prime account.
You have to know it's going to be on YouTube and be like, oh, shit, type that shit in. If I wake up one morning early and I'm just flipping through the thing, I'm like, oh, shit, there's a one shit. I think they're trying to get some more casuals that just have Amazon.
I think my mistake is because I don't personally have an Amazon Prime account, that I'm not accounting for how many people actually have this and just surf it on the regular. That's where I think my mind is not connected here.
I will be honest, we could just stream it, but
and I want to break it down. I do want to break it down in kind of two ways, though. I want to save what you said about the pay-per-view and subscription for later, but I do think that the Amazon thing is a massive marketing play because, like we were just talking about, with it being on, like they have NFL, they have MLB, they have a ton of movies, they have a ton of TV. Just the marketing play of Amazon now pushing one championship. Now maybe when you go just shop on Amazon, there's a one championship banner for the fight on Friday. You know, like that's a massive marketing play. So as long as, and that's where we can, unless you guys have something else on that, that's when we can talk about like the pay-per-view model. That's where I think it gets more ugly.
Yeah, like if you're giving me a product of fights for free, I really don't care what fighters you attract. I'm not going to pay for it. Like I didn't pay for 1X. I never was. And that's probably the biggest card they'll ever have. And if you didn't get me to get that one, I feel like you're not going to get me to get any of these cards. And so that I'm getting nervous of a company that was doing something at an elite level. Why are you then going to pivot? Because that's what a competitor does, that they built a brand on. People buy it for the UFC. They don't care who's fighting. So
I think it's more about people buy it and bars buy it because of the timing. It's like, oh, Saturday night, 5 o'clock, you better get this shit rolling. But since it's so early, I think they should. I don't like pay-per-view for them. Maybe not to us, but if it was already included in a subscription that I had, I can see
that's the key.
There's rumblings that they've secured a deal in Denver because Colorado's the only state that will approve one of the like 3 states that will approve the one championship rule set. So Denver's probably going to be like the HQ when one comes to America. So there's a lot of talks that they could potentially have Friday night cards.
That's kind of the thing
on Amazon Prime.
I think with the Amazon Prime deal, they said that it was 12 fights. So that's probably 12 fights of the year.
Those are their pay-per-views.
So those are going to be.
Is this their ESPN Plus idea?
I think this is their American idea, where it's like we're going to have 12 fights a year on more of a Western time zone, like they did with the TNT deal last year. We're going to have 12 events that will be Fridays, more catered towards Amazon Prime.
They still do it at 5 a.m. in Denver. We're just like,
wow.
Come on.
No, I like it. I like them making moves. I mean,
I got to give it to Dana. He was first on the scene for this subscription, like let's get on an app type shit. I feel like everyone's Bellator to Showtime Plus, whatever. Now one to Amazon.
Yeah, I think that's the smarter thing because, like we said, I think the pay-per-view model is a dying model. It's just
I don't think it's a dying model. I just don't think it's great.
No,
you can't track how many people are actually watching your fight. Well, that's stupid as fuck.
That's the problem. Is that now unless internet regulations catch up, which I don't see that happening in any near future. Like,
right,
the illegal streaming market has not killed, but it's making the pay-per-view model a dying model. So that's where I think.
Would you buy a UFC subscription, and let's say it was like $300 to $500 a year, but you could pay it monthly, so maybe
absolutely
$20 a month or something, and you got $20-$30 a month. No, let's say $20 a month, but you got all the pay-per-views, you got access to the UFC app, everything. $20 a month.
I'd buy it in a
I think 20 would be my cap. I don't think I'd go over 20.
How many people that stream would be like, that's not that bad.
Right.
Or you could pay it all up front, 20 times 12, $240.
I don't think that.
I think it would be a smarter thing. I think the only hard selling point on that, it's good because of the idea of pay-per-views, but granted, most fans, there's hardcores that buy every pay-per-view. Most fans are probably going to buy 2 to 3 pay-per-views a year. So, and when you're going to say, talking about Amazon Prime, if you're telling me Amazon Prime's $6.99 a month and I get fucking every movie under the sun, but just for UFC I got to pay 20, I think it's one of those that you actually, if you were going to go to that model, you do it a cheaper model where, they might get a deal where it's only, say $8 to $10 a month, which is only $120 a month or a year, but you're going to get way more people that are willing to do that. Like, I know a lot more of my friends and stuff that are casual UFC fans that would probably pay $100 to have it for the year. More than that, I don't know.
Correct.
Well, here's the other problem is that since UFC is in deals with ESPN, all the pay-per-views are already pre-bought by ESPN, supposedly. So UFC has their fixed income like that.
Right.
How the pay-per-views do is good for business as far as that, but they make the same amount, supposedly, because ESPN buys the pay-per-view to an extent.
Correct.
Makes it top. So,
they signed in their deal. It was like $7 billion for 8 years, and they just get paid a monthly sum of that $7 billion, and whatever happens. They're trying to shoot for the moon and obviously get as many views as they can. Yeah. But
for in that 7 years, so when that time comes for the re-up on that contract,
they can re-up.
Yeah, it's basically
but unless someone can give me an accurate way that you can recoup the money that you would have made from a pay-per-view model, the pay-per-view model will never die. It just will never die because at the end of the day, big fights, even like McGregor Mayweather, we're doing 3 million.
It's advertising. Because at the end of the day, that's the world we live in. Everything is advertising and marketing. So the commercial spots and all those stuff you're selling is all about views. So if you're getting 5x the views because it's a free thing, you can sell your advertising for 5 times as much. So if you're getting 100,000 people to buy the pay-per-view for $50, I'd rather sell a fucking ad to Pepsi because now we're getting 1 million views free on ESPN or ESPN Plus.
No, that's all real. I'm worried about a company, like I said from the start, I'm just worried about a company that was doing something perfectly for free, then trying to charge it, and that being an issue.
Also, something I was thinking about, because we love the YouTube model, but if you're trying to really compete with the UFC or the other fight brands in North America, I think there's some weird non-legitimacy to YouTube. If I were to tell
it's like watching Kimbo.
Yeah, it's like bum fights or something. There's something about fights on YouTube that like the accessibility, the being able to live,
if I had to pay to get into this shit, I probably wouldn't be a fan.
No.
So that's where I'm worried.
But I think the thing is that almost everyone.
I guess I think I can't wrap my brain around how many people have Amazon Prime, and I think that's my problem.
I mean, I have it. You use my account, and you also use your parents' account. Like everyone has it or has access to it.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. Well, it's big news, nonetheless.
Definitely. What's next?
Anything else?
I also got more news. We got 2 newcomers about to square off in the octagon. We got Muhammad Mokaev. He's going to fight Charles Johnson, I want to say is the name.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's going to fight Charles Johnson, who is the 2-time he's the champ in LFA, and he's about to make his debut against Mokaev. Crazy fight.
These are both your newcomers. Who you got?
Honestly, I think Mokaev is more skilled, is a little bit more well-rounded, but I came across Charles Johnson on the Tiger Muay Thai YouTube series, and this dude has a gas tank like no other, and he's experienced now. So I honestly think it's going to be a super close fight. I'd probably lean Mokaev, like slightly.
And what are they fighting in? Like what promotion?
They're fighting in the UFC in July.
Yeah.
Mokaev's 1-0. He came off that win in March 19th, and Charles Johnson is making his debut against Mokaev. And they've probably had run-ins together at Tiger. They've had to. So that's got to play in the backstory a bit. But Johnson is game as fuck, and it's got a crazy story. And
there's something crazy, I actually love, especially that we've gotten into Tiger Muay Thai and kind of how they like have their competitions to get in. And definitely watch. I forget which year it was that Charles Johnson got on it, because he got on with a crazy story of like
there was another Charles Johnson, two Charles
Johnsons, and they sent out the invite accidentally to both of them. And then they both showed up and were like what? And then basically he was like, I mean, I'm still here. I'm here to scrap. And he ended up winning an invitation to them. So it was a really sick series to get him there. But in the same way, I kind of love him making his debut against a Tiger Muay Thai guy, where it's like now it's almost like the ultimate Tiger Muay Thai
boss.
Yeah, final boss, exactly. Like
7-0 versus 11-2.
Oh yeah. So, I mean, that's the weird thing where it's like these guys who are coming out of like Thailand and Tiger Muay Thai, where it's like some of their records professionally don't look, unbelievable in MMA, where it's like 7-0, like that's not much, but it's like first off the battles they have at practice, and then probably all the Muay Thai battles that they've been in. It's like this dude could have 100 fights under his belt. But I actually, all too early, prediction. I actually think that Johnson's going to win a close decision. I think he's going to burn him out in the 3rd round and win like a close one, but it's going to be a war.
So yeah, that's kind of what I got in some MMA news. Shocker to me also, the Ultimate Fighter's coming back like next week. Found that out like an hour ago and was like, wait, what now?
At first, I wasn't too pumped about it with Pena and Nunes, but now I kind of am. I don't know why.
I'm big. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. At first, that sucked.
And I'm gonna watch it. I'm definitely gonna be watching them this year. But at first when I heard that, I think it was because we all wanted Colby and Masvidal, and then once that didn't happen, I had to kind of just accept that fact, and now I'm back on it.
Yeah, and I think that is almost, and I think it's just like a Twitter reaction almost that we all have, that it's like immediately when the coaches are announced, unless it's an absolute automatic home run, we're like, this stinks. And then we kind of forget about it in the 24-hour news cycle, and by the time it gets here, we're like, ooh, this is going to be fun. And honestly, you put 12 women in a house, there's going to be drama in this season. Like, there's going to be cat fights, there's going to be bad blood, I don't think Nunes is going to be trying to take shit. I don't think it's going to be the loose, fun mom Nunes that we've seen. She's probably back to business, and that's going to be interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know, are they going back to one division? Because that pissed me off.
So.
Nah, that's the new move is to go to 2. It's been that way for a while now.
I hate
it's just
that.
You get more people involved in like. I'm not saying I agree. I'm just gonna tell you what like the business side. You get more people involved. You can like.
But couldn't you have the same amount of people in the same division though?
But like if someone gets hurt, maybe it's easier. Like I don't know.
No, but instead of having like 8 people in this division, 8 people in this, like why not just have 16 in the same one?
Right.
I don't know.
Well, I also think it was part of like this show's kind of dying. We've done this for 20 straight years one way, and like people are kind of burnt out. Let's throw in 2 divisions. And then they stopped it for like a while, and there was demand, and they're like, let's bring it back. And they brought it back under like the old rule set.
I think if you throw in
you know what I'm trying to say?
If you're throwing in 2 divisions, throw in 2 sets of coaches. We'll have like the Amanda Nunes versus Pena one, and then we'll have a different one that are coaching these guys. And then we can kind of
that would be real interesting. Like, let's get real world on it. Let's have a male division and a female division. And just like
that's
see
what we got. Happens. We got heavyweights and women's flyweights.
How the fuck are Juliana Pena going to be coaching heavyweights?
Well, we got heavyweights, fam.
All right. I mean,
I actually love heavyweights. So
now I'm
there's 8 heavyweights.
Now I'm interested.
Yo, we got Muhammad Usman too.
Okay.
Everyone makes fun of heavyweights on Twitter. Like, I don't know why. I love heavyweights.
We got a 43-year-old.
A what now?
Rob McDonald, 43, with an MMA record of 5-4.
That's Ron's brother,
out of Salt Lake City.
What the hell did he? Who does he know?
Yeah, real talk.
I was like, I'm not going to shit on this guy because that's going to be
your favorite.
No, not my favorite, but it's going to be the first episode of like this guy had brain cancer and his dog died and he saved the baby bird.
Yo, the records on here are trash.
Yikes.
7-2, 4-2, 2-1, 3-2, 2-1.
I think the difference is
8-3, 5-4.
He swoops up all the good ones for the Contender Series, and then he's getting the young ones on this.
Yeah, it's almost sadly kind of making my real world reference. It's becoming more of like they pick the reality stars for it a little bit.
We'll see. I'm ready.
I also just think when you just put fighters in a house and turn on the cameras, wild shit gonna happen. Ain't nobody knew Julian Lane was gonna go in there and be like, "Let me bang, bro. Let me fucking bang." Like it just happens, you know.
Right.
No one thought Tony Ferguson would get hammered and like fall over the stairs and try to fight.
Everyone thought that Tony Ferguson would get hammered and fall over the stairs
and fucking fight his entire team.
Yeah,
we know that now, but like
we learned it quickly.
Yo, shout out fucking titties on that show.
Oh my god, Daryl Schoonover.
Yep, Daryl Schoonover, bro. Shout out Titties Schoonover.
When he finally had his fight and they put his name on the door and then they just drew the titties on the O's, that was the most perfect, like,
Rampage Jackson called this guy Daryl Schoonover.
And he like squared up with them for a second too, like,
yeah.
Come on, just accept your titties, like.
Exactly. Don't
run from it, bro. You're just titties, bro. I wonder what that guy's doing with his life right now, to be real.
Hooters.
Yeah.
He said Hooters.
He's an assistant manager of a Hooters. Or he made his own spin-off of Hooters called Schooners.
Wow.
But anything else, or let's get into this week's card?
Let's do it.
Let's get into some poop fights.
Definitely. Before we do that, let me pull up our sponsor here.
Let go.
Oh, those are my picks. Sorry, but
those are my picks. He said, "Yikes."
No judgment necessary is presented by Acosta Clothing, the hottest streetwear and high fashion brand coming out of the Bay Area, California. They specialize in a range of quality backpacks and accessories. Acosta Clothing has been worn by some of the top MMA fighters such as Dom Cruz, Mina Akeem Dawodu, and our boy Ray Waters. You can find them on Instagram at Acosta Clothing or on their website at acostaclothing.com. Go get that summer wear coming out hot. But let's get into this first fight. Real banger we got here.
Yeah, we got Tatsuro Tara, 10-0 out of Japan, taking on Carlos Candelario, 8-1 out of the USA. This is a flyweight fight. Fellas, do we got anything?
I just want the Japanese dude to win because I think it'd be cool to have like a hella good Japanese guy up in here. But this other guy, I'm trying to look him up right now.
He lost a split decision on the Contender Series.
I just don't know what to make of either one of these guys because, like, they're both sort of coming in on, like, debuts. And while Candelario has fought in more notable promotions, he seems to have, like, less fights and kind of got here maybe quicker and got a dubs on the Contender Series and then lost via split. So this, to me, is a very even matchup, and I just have no way to roll. So I'm kind of with P on this one. Like, I would like to see a dope Japanese fighter in the UFC. Like, we've seen it. They can scrap in one championship. Let's bring it over to UFC. I'm big with that.
I completely agree, but that's exactly just like where my gambler brain turns on, where I'm like, everyone's just going to see the 10-0 guy and like, oh, this guy lost.
No, I didn't put my bet. I said who I wanted to win. I don't think he's going to
This got to be an even-ass fight, no? Someone's going to be like minus 240, and I'm going to be like, gross.
I was like pulling up the odds now.
A lot of chokes out here, though. So this is going to be, okay. So we got our boy from Japan here. He's going to be more of a ground game guy.
Really?
He's got a good amount of submissions.
Okay.
Last 3 fights have been finished in the first round via submission, and then he's got 2 first-round ground punch stoppages. Sounds like some ground and pound.
Gotcha.
Then you go back to his first fight, triangle. You go back to his amateur days. He's got a sleeper choke. 2 of those.
Yeah. Tatsuro's coming in at minus 265 favorite. That's a little too juicy for me, and that's where it scares me.
Yeah.
It seems too easy.
The more I'm looking into this, I'm kind of actually thinking that might be the play.
Tatsuro by sub?
No, just like Tatsuro. Like 260 is like, now that I'm digging into this, like at first I thought 260 would be gross. I'm starting to be like, yeah, maybe. I could see that.
Okay. I don't know. He hasn't fought an American yet. I don't like
True. I'm not all the way there. I'm just saying I'm starting to lean that he's probably a 260 favorite.
Yeah, that makes sense. Next fight,
we got Gina Mazzani, 7-5, taking on Shayna Young, 7-4. These women are both from the USA, and this is a female flyweight fight. What are we thinking?
This is interesting. Shayna Young's going up to flyweight, right? Or no, sorry. Yeah, up to flyweight. She fought in bantamweight before. So she struggled. She had 2 losses to Macy Chiasson and Stephanie Egger. So maybe this honestly feels, not to steal one of Nils' lines, but this feels like a cook for your life challenge. This feels like both of these women have gotten some wins, have gotten, some chances against like some rising stars in the divisions, and have had some recent losses. Shayna Young, changing divisions, seeing if she can kind of, work on this level. So I'm not saying that either of them will immediately get cut, but I could see a poor performance being a cut. But it could also set, a good performance could set either of these women right back on track.
It's not, I don't mean this disrespectfully. It's just a hard fight to get excited about when you pull up both records and you just see a lot of red.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's difficult. Now, it could probably be an absolute banger of a fight. Danger Gina Mazzani against the Shanimal, Shayna Young. I don't know if that tells me anything. 8-5 versus 7-5, 8-4, 7-6. They're all the same.
I mean,
I have nothing to differentiate this fight, and it's kind of pissing me off.
I was going to say, I'm not
probably. Who has more vowels in their name?
Yikes.
That's how bad I'm going on this one. I don't know what to pick.
It's tied. No. Wait, it's sometimes Y. So Gina Mazzani gets 4.5. Oh, wait, but Shayna
Young has a Y.
Fuck. Yep, it's going the distance. That's the pick. This fight goes the distance. Let me see. Barstool doesn't have props out. Let me see if another sportsbook might.
Yeah, but Gina Mazzani been going win-loss, in her last recent bit of form.
I could see her getting it done. She is a minus 175 favorite, but I also don't love Gina Mazzani as a favorite. Let's see. Fight to go the distance. Yes, minus 165.
Gross.
I think that's a hammer.
Oh, this is Matty P's. I'm getting a food fight then.
No, I can't get food that early.
All right. Okay. Sorry.
What if you get 2 caniacs?
No.
Well, appetizer, then the entree. Like,
yeah, you know.
Bro, I don't know what's going on. I can't even handle a full caniac anymore.
We're getting old, bro.
I know.
All right. Next fight. Mike Breeden, 10-4 out of the USA, taking on Natan Levy, 6-1 out of Israel. This fight happening in the lightweight division. Opening bell thoughts?
I got Levy.
Yeah.
I don't know why. This is one of those. I just got a feeling.
He just looks like an absolute unit. He struggled with Rafa Garcia, but I just haven't been impressed by Mike Breeden at all. So I'll take just the guy who looks crazy in Natan Levy.
I think Natan Levy's nice with the wrestling, and if he can put Breeden on the back foot and start getting some of this wrestling going, that seems to be a game changer for him. When he's kind of like a running back that's like downhill. Yeah. If he can get downhill and he see the hole, he's gonna hit it, and this gonna work. But if he doesn't, that's where things become a problem.
Right. Well, that was I think that's sort of what happened, because that was basically what we saw in the Contender Series. He got a nice submission a minute into the third round. He grinded down his opponent. First 2 rounds, just wore him out, then snatched the neck. It was over. Then in his UFC debut, I think the lights were a little bright. He wasn't as aggressive. He wasn't getting on that front foot, loses a decision. So I think this is where maybe he'll get his confidence back. If he's pressing forward, getting that chain wrestling going, I do think he should probably win this one.
Yeah. Is he favored? He's got to be, right?
Let's pull up the He is.
The experience, though, it's going to head to Mike Breeden.
Levy is actually a minus 200 favorite, plus 160 for Breeden.
I also just think Mike Breeden works for ESPN, and I just don't want to bet him. And I don't know why. He just sounds like he works like a trash morning fucking show for ESPN. And I just can't pick him. This is Back to Your Coffee with Mike Breeden.
Yeah. All right. I'm out on him. Next fight. What do we got?
We got Johann 8-0 out of Canada, taking on Gabe Green, 10-3 out of the USA. This is in the welterweight division. Honestly, I don't know shit about this fight. Ain't go front, but I'm seeing an 8-0. I'm seeing an 8-0 Canadian with Johann as the name. Say less. I'm about to hammer this guy blindly until the wheels fall off.
I wouldn't do that.
Tell me why.
Green's a pretty good fighter, man. I mean, he lost to Jalen Turner, D-Rod, and someone else I've never heard of back in the day. But he just beat Philip Rowe, and Philip Rowe's pretty fucking good.
Yeah, he is.
So I don't know. I give him that. And then this other guy, I don't know. I think he's fought in the Contender Series once.
But I love blindly betting Canadians.
The White Lion?
Hey, he has a good nickname. But like I said, I wouldn't sleep on Gabe Green. Gabe Gifted Green.
Yeah, this is a close one. Odds are much closer. Gabe Green's coming in as a minus 120 favorite. Johann is coming in at even. So,
this is dumb close.
It's a pick 'em. I want to blindly bet Canadians.
This guy fighting out of Quebec,
eh? Significantly scared now. More scared. Scareder? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna take the Canadian, but fuck, this is definitely closer.
Don't love it. Switching over some Brazilians.
Yeah, let's see if we can load up my shits here. All right, let's get it. We got Daniel da Silva, 11-2 out of Brazil, taking on Francisco Frigaretto, 12-4-1, also out of Brazil. This is a flyweight men's fight.
This is going to be like two fucking squirrels fighting each other, I think. This is going to be a wild fucking fight.
This is going to be two raccoons in a dumpster.
Yeah, like they're just going to be all over each other. I don't know. I think that's Figgy's brother, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know who's going to win because I feel like Da Silva, he just lost a fight, but I feel like he wasn't bad, though. Who did he lose to? Jeff Molina, that's right.
Yeah. And that's kind of a similar fight I think it's going to be. So that's where, like, I slightly lean Frigaretto, but I'm with you. I mean, I can't judge two raccoons in a bag. Like, how do you judge that? Like, and that's what I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be a lot of striking, a lot of chain wrestling, a lot of scrambling. Like, I think it's going to be.
Do we have a new category, a raccoon fight?
Yeah.
That's like a new thing. All right, this is a raccoon fight.
Right, just like crazy scrambling, like I think like Kyler Phillips is like the raccoon champ. Like,
yeah,
you got the coon belt, but yeah, I want to lean Figgy, but he's had a couple stinkers.
He's probably going to be the big favorite because of his last name, and that makes me want to bet Da Silva.
Yeah, but I think Da Silva just lost to.
What if I told
Malcolm Jeff Gordon?
Da Silva was a -134 favorite.
Then I would tell you that I'm not betting this fight.
Yeah, I ain't betting this fight. I had it backwards. It's Frigaretto who lost unanimous to Jeff Gordon.
Yeah, they're both coming off like semi-bad losses to mid-level fighters in this division.
I feel like Jeff Molina is pretty solid, but
yeah, and Jared Gordon's pretty solid, but they're also not like top 10 guys.
Nah, Molina over Jeff Gordon. Let's get that straight.
True. Final picks?
Final picks? I'm rocking Da Silva, bro.
I'm thinking this fight ends in the second round.
I kind of agree with that one.
Yeah. Just like chaos. Raccoons in a bag.
Raccoon fight. Yeah. Raccoons start fighting. Someone comes out with the shotgun 8 minutes later. Yeah. No more raccoons are fighting.
Yeah. What the fuck's going on here? Love it.
But go on.
Next fight. Sorry. I'll take Frigaretto.
All right. Next fight.
Next fight, a little slower pace, but some big boys.
Shit.
We got Alexander Romanov, 15-0 out of what country is this?
Moldova.
Out of Moldova, taking on Chase Sherman, 15-9 out of the USA. This is a big dog heavyweight fight.
Did you guys know that this fight is the biggest difference in odds? Like, Chase Sherman's the biggest underdog of all time in this fight in the UFC.
Wait, what now?
Alexander's like a -2,300 favorite, and it's like the biggest one they've ever had. I saw it somewhere.
I mean, I was going to come on this program and talk about how I'm putting all my chips into the Romanov camp. Like, I'm all in on this cat. I think
you better have a lot of chips to throw in because
I don't have that many chips. I don't have that many chips. Is he really
that big of a favorite?
I gotta look at it. So yeah, the book I got says -2,000.
Yeah.
So you telling me I gotta put like -2 of my mortgages to make like $150?
And watch, Chase Sherman just sleeps him in the first.
That's what I'm saying. It's heavyweights. Like, there should never be that big of a favorite in heavyweights. Like,
this cannot be real.
And I do think Romanov is the favorite. Let's be
for shits and giggles, I may throw money on Chase Sherman.
+900, like, that's insanity.
I throw 10 on there. He wins. I walk out with 100.
Yeah, why not? Like, I mean, like, Chase Sherman has lost his last 3 fights, but he has beaten Villanueva, and that's not the greatest. Actually, now that I'm
No,
looking
I
at
feel
it,
in the wave of
I
I
think
pull up I feel in the wave is Tapology. He got snuffed last week by Tyson Pedro. He got worked, right?
He lost to Tyson.
I just wanted to see where you're going to keep going with that sentence.
Yeah, I was
He
trying
has
to
lost
defend
in a row,
him.
but he did beat Villanueva.
All right, coach's challenge. Upon further review, I think the odds are actually way too low. This is stealing at minus 2,000. It should be at least minus 5,000.
Yo, this is absurd. He's really a minus 2,000 favorite.
It's like, what would Tyson Fury with Jay Sherman be? Or like Ngannou or some shit.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
that for real. What if they gave him a guy that was top 3? They gave him Alexander Romanov and it's minus 2,000. Imagine if they gave him top 3 in the division. Fucking hell.
Like, yeah, even if he fought like fucking Ty, like what are those odds?
Shoot, he could have fought Ty like 4 months ago.
That's what I'm saying.
Like
before he got knocked out by everybody, but Jesus. Well, I do think Romanov will probably win this one.
Yeah. Hot take. I got Romanov here. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. I don't like to have...
That's a real hot take you had.
I don't like to have my take sizzling this much before we get to the main card, but, you know, sometimes you got to bring that heat.
And they put this on the prelim main event. They just want to see it. Someone catch a body, bro. It's going to be...
Yeah, no, they're just
want to see me catch a body?
They can basically have a viral tweet go out of something.
Hey, but props to Jay Sherman walking into a fucking odds match that would be like me in there.
Yo, if I'm Chase Sherman, because honestly, both these guys probably making like 12 grand, right? If I'm Chase Sherman,
is this even
I'm going up to fucking Romanov in the back, and I'm being like, yo, we're putting 20 racks on me at plus 900, and you're taking a fucking dive.
Wow.
He's 15-1. He gets 15-0. He can lose one. He'd probably make more money than he would make in his next 3 UFC fights.
Now that you brought money into this fight, there's just no way this is worth it for Chase Sherman. There's just no way.
Why not? Well,
there's no way.
He came in on short notice, and I think he's trying to win favors over with Dana because Dana likes guys who will just step in to shit like that. He's probably like, "Hey, if you step in."
Not seeing any canceled bouts.
Oh, I heard it was a short notice.
I mean, it could have been. It's got to be 15-9 versus 15-0. I mean,
yeah.
When do you hear
they
that?
both got 15 wins.
Heavyweight worldwide ranking according to Tapology, number 16 in the world for Romanov, number 55 for Chase Sherman. I would hope the matchmakers did not put this fight together, like purposely. But no disrespect, it's a fight. Chase Sherman got all the chance in the world. Just I won't be betting on it.
Sherman by knockout. Next fight,
we got Gerald Meerschaert, 13-4, taking on Christoph Jotko, 23-5. This is a middleweight fight. I heard P drumming over there. So what do we got?
This fight, I don't know the odds, but I'm pretty sure Jotko's going to be the favorite. And this is my underdog of the week. I got Meerschaert all day in this fight.
Really?
Jacko can't handle the ground, but Meerschaert could stand up with Jacko for long enough. This is like clear as day to me for some reason. Meerschaert by submission. I see it.
I get you. Like, I was really thinking that Jocko's just gonna, like, that's the thing that's pissing me off, because for this to be an entertaining fight, like, I just think Meerschaert's gonna boring this up, and that's what pisses me off, because it could be an entertaining fight on the feet, but it's not going to be.
No,
but
it's not. I don't think so.
I do kind of like that. What is the they don't have props out yet, but Meerschaert's still a plus 146 underdog.
I like that. I really do like that.
Damn. I kind of wanted to take Jacko, but
I
don't know.
I'm kind of with P on this one.
Meerschaert's chin just scares me a little.
Look at who Meerschaert has fought. Look at who he's fought. He's fought killers and nothing but killers. And I guess you could say so is Jotko.
I was gonna say Jacko, even though he has a lesser record, he's only 23-5. Like he's been around the division. He's fought John Strickland. He beat your boy Eric Anders, Mirsha Serkinov. Like he's fought Brad Tavares, Uriah Hall. Like he's had some pretty decent fights, you know. So I don't think like as much experience. I mean, Mirsha's been around the block twice. Like obviously he's one of the more experienced guys in this division, but
I'm kind of with Ping. I kind of think he dirties this up and subs him. Like nobody gets more like later, like second round subs. Like he just finds ways.
Right.
And I don't think Jotko's ground game is anything close to Mearshart. So the second it gets down there, I can see a quick wrap up.
Yeah, he really hasn't fought a lot of like wrestlers or, you know, ground guys. I mean, Eric Anders has a decent wrestling game, but
Eric Anders just throws hands. He doesn't even really wrestle.
No. Mirsha Serkinov will sometimes go down, but he dragged him into more of a striking battle. So, fuck. I wanted this to be a more exciting fight, but you're going to be right. Next fight.
What is the next fight? Oh, Lord.
Darren Elkins versus 26-10 out of the U.S., taking on Tristan Conley, 14-7 out of Canada.
Bro, isn't Tristan Conley the one that beat Michel Pereira? How the hell is he in featherweight? Or why did he fight Pereira?
I don't know. That fight was... Let me check what weight that was at.
That
was at 170.
Yeah, what the fuck?
So he's now down at 145?
That's weird.
And taking on Darren Elkins? Like...
I mean, Darren Elkins got the worst tattoo in the business. It's not even close. This guy literally got the damage tattooed straight on his chest.
It's the worst for anybody that's not him.
Yeah.
No. It's bad. You want to make that a brand? Go for it. You want to make that a t-shirt? All for it. Make it your bio. Good story. Don't get it tattooed straight across your chest when you go get whipped every time and just start bleeding. It's a bad look. He thought he'd be say he's the damage because he gives damage. He is the damage because he receives damage, and that's not where you want to be.
Well, who do you? So
I think where you don't want to be is
not
dropping
really
25 pounds to fight a psycho like Darren Elkins. That's where I think you don't.
I got the over on excitement on this fight, and that's about it.
Yeah, I think they're gonna go at it. I think this is. I think
borderline raccoon fight. I mean, shit, they're gonna go to war.
I mean, obviously a Michel Pereira fight, you know, that's an impressive win, but I think Darren Elkins, like, the 25-pound cut is crazy to me.
I, for some reason, am leaning to the Canadian Connolly. I'm surprised you guys aren't taking him.
God damn it, don't make me blindly bet a Canadian. I would. It doesn't take much convincing.
He said it doesn't.
What are the odds? That'll change my mind always.
Let's check the odds.
Yikes, Tristan Conley.
Sorry, going back.
Yikes. I don't know.
Elkins is a -175 favorite.
This dude lost to Pat Sabatini, but beat Michel Pereira. Please explain that one.
Well, that was the fight where Michel Pereira just kept flipping around everywhere and got tired.
Yeah. And that's kind of what I'm saying.
I can't believe that was a real fucking statement. I did not believe that was a real statement.
Like
that's
unfortunately it is.
And like that should happen. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, getting in a 170-pound Cirque du Soleil match with Michelle Pereira is a very different thing than a 145-pound fight with Darren Elkins, and that's why I'm leading Elkins.
I don't know. The man's got 10 losses for a reason, but I guess Conley's got 7. So
in much less fights. Darren Elkins got 5 more wins than Conley's got.
May I ask this? Who cares?
Next fight.
Next fight, we got Jared Gordon over here, 18-4 out of the USA in the lightweight division, taking on Grant Dawson, 17-1-1. Yo, this is an electric fight.
This is a good fucking fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Grant Dawson obviously has been nothing but electricity since he's shown up. But I do think Jared Gordon's like a nice progression for him. Like, Jared Gordon's going to absolutely bring a fight every single time he steps into the cage. And yeah, the record looks pretty on Dawson, but like, we're going to really find out if he's with the shits. And I think this is going to be one of the first times that he's truly tested, truly brought into like deep waters. And we got to see like what kind of like, you know, what truly are you about when you're sort of dominating the fight, when you're, you know, everything's going your way. Yeah, you can look great. But when you're asking your coaches what, you know, is it 1-1 or is it 2-0 or what's the score when you're on the stool going into the third, like what kind of fighter are you then? And that's what I don't know in Grant Dawson yet.
I think I like this fight going the distance. I think they're both like kind of at the same level. And I think since they're probably respect each other, they know they're at the same level. I don't know if they're going to take a lot of chances.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean,
I think Grant Dawson's going to murder this dude.
Yeah, I don't know. I could definitely see him winning. Like, don't get me wrong, but I think it's going to be a much tougher fight than some people are thinking. Dawson's coming in at -185 favorite. Jared Gordon plus 150. Yeah, I like your pick of it going the distance. This fight to go the distance is -190. So yeah, pretty decent favorite.
I don't know. I just think Grant Dawson's a problem on the ground. He's just big in this division. He's strong, and until somebody can really solve that, I kind of think that's the move.
Yeah, but Jared isn't like he's not the like greatest ground guy, but I feel like he's just scrappy. Like, I mean, I don't think he's going to get taken down on the first time. Like, I feel like there's going to be some scrambles. It's not going to be just a walk in the park for Dawson. And we haven't really seen him struggle a lot with guys on the ground, so that's just where I question. Like, once he struggles, how does he respond?
That's a fair take. I mean, we're going to learn a lot about Dawson in this fight, I feel like, but I tend to think he's going to win.
Yeah, I think Dawson wins by decision. I think that's my bet on that.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Next fight, we
got Andrei Fili, 21-8 out of the USA, taking on Joe Anderson Burrito, 12-3-1 out of Brazil. This is a men's featherweight fight. All-time nickname in Andrei Fili. He's taking on a dude out of the Contender Series, Joe Anderson Brito. I don't know. This fight is a bit chaotic for me. I'm not quite sure why it was made. Andrei Fili been around this division, really fought a lot of legitimate contenders, and we're going to bring in a guy, Joe Anderson Brito, fresh off a Contender Series in an L, and say, here you go with Andrei Fili. Seems a bit ridiculous to me.
That's exactly what
I don't get it at all.
I think we're on the same side. I got Fili all day on this. I think he's going to dance around that octagon and make it look nice.
Like, is Joe Anderson Brito from a promotion that's like, oh shit, like, you know what I mean? Like, right. Why is he getting this slot? This
FFC
doesn't seem like a logical progression. Like, lost to Bill Algeo, then you get Andrei Fili. Like,
yeah,
that doesn't seem right.
No.
Is Fili a massive favorite?
I mean,
less than Rameaua for sure. Let's see here.
He's got to be, right? But
minus 245. That's juice, but I'll take that juice.
That's the parlay killer that I'm going to have in all of my parlays.
Everything. It's going to be everywhere. Oh, that does scare me.
But again, you lost to Bill Algeo and going to turn around and fight Andrei Fili? Like, really?
I'd rather watch Bill Algeo fight Andrei Fili.
Yeah, real talk. I'd rather Bill Algeo fight Burrito again.
Fair. I just like Bill Algeo.
The Pond Scum. Bill Algeo. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I do know, actually. Sorry. I got Fili in this fight.
Next fight.
We got Jake Collier, 13-6 out of the USA, taking on Andrei Arlovski, 33-20 out of Belarus. This is the co-main heavyweight fight. We got opening bell thoughts.
Yeah, well, so originally when I heard this, I was like, bro, I actually have Collier. I think he's fast enough because he has fast hands that I've just witnessed in his last fight but it was against Chase Sherman. And then I looked up his record, and he's been on a win-loss since 2014, and then he just had a win.
This is the easiest. I was going to come into this pod. This is my lock of the night. Andrei Arlovski runs circles around dudes like this. Again, Andrei Arlovski has lost more fights than this guy has ever fought. This just seems so simple to me. I do agree that like Collier has fast hands, but I feel like he's gonna have that fast hand combo that like beat Chase Sherman's ass, and Andrei Arlovski's big cinder block of a head is just gonna bounce off it, and then he's gonna get taken down, and that next one gets snatched up. And he's gonna not even know what the fuck happened to him.
I just get
like I don't think Jake Collier's like Andrei Arlovski's sparring partner 15 years ago was better than Jake Collier.
I just get big high school Hall of Fame vibes from Jake Collier.
He's just gonna have that, like, the football coach.
Yeah.
Played some middle linebackers back in the day. Now he's a strength and conditioning coach.
Yeah, like high school Hall of Famer, like Jake Collier. Like,
I mean, they were state runner-up that year. So,
like,
well, all right. So I think Arlovski will win based on that and the record thing. So, but originally, right when I saw this, I was like, Collier looked nice his last fight. But then I realized who it was against. I'm like, okay, that's not Arlovski's level. Arlovski's he's too skilled. He's too, like, he can set you up. He knows when you're setting him up. He just is better on the block and back. And his chin's still there. So.
Like, what is Collier going to throw at him that he hasn't seen? And I mean, obviously it's a heavyweight fight. It might just be a big right that connects at the right spot to a rather old man. But other than that, like, I just don't think he's going to – I think he's going to throw one shot, slip it, and fucking double leg, game over. And you're only having to pay minus 150 as a favorite on this. Like,
no,
I think that is my lock of the night. Give me Arlovski all day long.
Okay.
Main event time or
let's hop in it. Main event.
Let's go.
Do it.
We got 5 rounds of action in the bantamweight division. We got Rob Font, 19-5 out of the USA, taking on Marlon Chito Vera, 27-1 out of Venezuela.
We're going to be torn. We're going to be
Electric.
torn. I already know we're going to be torn.
All right. How so?
I think Vera is the lock for this one. I think he is going to make that happen. He is a man on a fucking mission. He's got the momentum. I think it's going to be a good scrap. I don't know if Marlon will get the finish because Rob Font's a hard son of a bitch to finish. But I think Vera gets it, or he gets robbed on the decision when I think he should have won.
See, what I think in this fight, obviously, and that's where you think we're going to be split because I'm a Rob Font fan.
I am too.
I love Rob Font. I do love me some Rob Font. And if in a perfect world, we see them in basically a boxing match because these two have some of the cleanest striking in the game. I think Rob Font has top 3 to 5 like pure striking in the game right now. But the thing that terrifies me about this matchup is that I think the X factor in this is going to be Cheeto's leg kicks. If Cheeto's dumb enough to stand in the middle and box with him and entertain the fans as we deserve to be entertained, because it would be the most electric fight of the year, then I think Rob has the slight advantage. I think his combos are going to be just that tick quicker. His angles are a little sharper than Cheeto, but I think if Cheeto makes the conscious effort, especially early in a 5-round fight, to deposit those leg kicks, and then Rob starts slowing down in those championship rounds, it really does scare me of this matchup.
And but Vera is one of those raccoon in a bag fighters. He's one of the scrappiest sons of bitches that I've ever seen. Like, I don't think he's ever been finished.
I'd have to stat check that, but I don't believe so. And like, that's the thing. Both of these guys have clean enough striking to finish the other one, but neither one of them gets finished, really.
No.
So, but also, I don't know. Have either of them been in a 5-round fight?
Was it Rob Font?
Aldo? It was with Aldo.
Yes, with Aldo. But
yep, and he lost that shit.
Was the Cody fight also 5? Or was that a Cody?
Why do I feel like he beat him up for 5 rounds?
Yeah, I think that was. So a little more. That actually makes me feel a little better that Rob has, a little more 5-round experience. But like I said, the leg kicks terrify me. But if it does go to decision, I do kind of see how you were saying, where I think Rob's volume, especially in his striking, because he just keeps throwing. Like, he just keeps throwing 3 to 5 punch combos constantly. So I can see that on a judge's scorecard really adding up, especially throughout 5 rounds. But it does scare me with the damage that Cheeto could get off of, especially the attacks to the leg and the body.
And I assume Cheeto's the underdog.
I believe so. A slight underdog. It was close. Sorry, page is reloading. Yeah, Font's coming in at -130, Cheeto Vera +112. So pretty close fight. Yeah, I mean, I think honestly it depends on 2 things.
How you're doing by that time of the night is one.
And how drunk I am on Saturday.
That's gonna be my second guess too, damn it.
And I'll throw a third asterisk. If the Red Sox win that day, I might be feeling a little more Boston strong. And the Red Sox are playing the Orioles that day, so Sox win, Font win. Let's go Boston.
That didn't happen well with the Patriots and Calvin.
We don't talk about that.
Yeah, no, that didn't work well. I think this is going to be a very exciting fight. I think it's going to be a stand-up fight. I agree with the chirp on the leg kicks. I think that's going to probably be the differentiator. I also think they could both put each other out, even though they've never been finished. This is a toss-up for me, but I'm kind of leaning Rob Font. But I'm not really certain on that. I mean, I could see it go either way. It's going to be such a high-level striking fight.
Yeah, this is one of those fights where I almost, if I watch it because I like both these guys so much, but when I watch it without money on it, I'll find out who I really like better.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, because it'll be so razor thin, you'll just be focused on the guy you have money on. And be like, oh, he landed, fuck him up, keep going. And it's just like, yeah, I totally get that.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be probably 500 strikes thrown in this fight. So, yeah, whoever you bet on, you're going to kind of be leading like, oh, no, we got this. Like, definitely. Because I don't think – I mean, there could be like – there will be 3 contested rounds on the scorecard.
Also,
there might be 1 to 2 that'll be, semi-clear, but I think everything's going to be pretty razor thin.
What worries me about Font, too, is that he kind of got his ass whooped by Aldo a little bit ago. And like he was flying all over the fucking place. He survived, but it was like questionable. Like, oh shit, should we stop this? And I just wonder how mentally he'll come back. I mean, he's probably going to be fine. He's came back from losses before, but I just have never seen him get his ass whipped like that. So that's just one of the other factors.
Right. Does that factor into his chin at all? He took a lot of damage, was moving around. Does now all of a sudden a 1-2-3 and a head kick change the whole outcome of this fight? So, yeah, I do agree with that. There's going to be a lot to take away. I agree with
it on the mental and chin side, but let's still keep it,
No, Rob Font going to do his thing. He's still going to land. Don't get it twisted.
Jose Aldo. Like, there's levels to the shit. Cheeto wants to be Aldo. He's not there yet.
They had a close fight, too, Aldo and Cheeto.
I mean, Rob had he got his ass whooped, but he hung in there. Like, I had so much respect.
It's going to be a great main event. I'm leaning Rob Font. Boston Strong all day. I want to see one of the homies from fucking Woburn, Mass. Get a title shot, so let's get it.
Let's do it. Much
love, y'all.